Joining me now is Neil Herbert, Executive Chairman of Atlantic Lithium. Great to see you, sir.
Nice to be here.
Now, our viewers know Piedmont Lithium, so now they're going to get the other side of this partnership that Piedmont has with Atlantic Lithium. You've got this project in Ghana, and you call it nature's gift. How come?
So I call it nature's gift really because the deposit lends itself so well to mining and extraction. It's also, in terms of the product, it's an overwhelmingly coarse-grained spodumene project with very low impurities. So what that means in terms of the processing side, it's very straightforward. So we can actually go for DMS, which is a simple gravity circuit. We don't require flotation. So that means a low power input, and indeed an entire project cost, which is also very low. So we come into this idea of it being very low Opex, under $300 in our PFS study.
Right, so low capital expenditure, low operating expenditure, small footprint. Can you flesh that out, flesh out the details?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the nice things is we operate in Ghana. So Ghana is a very established mining jurisdiction. Now we benefit from that in several different ways. The first is in terms of the permitting, it's a very clear process what you have to do. So we're very happy to be working in Ghana. The second is in terms of staff and qualified staff, and you often see Ghanaian mining engineers working throughout the world. We can draw on that knowledge and we can draw on those people. Through the COVID period, for example, we just kept working because we have one expat in country, everybody else is a local. So that's been great for us. We have to maintain momentum throughout that time. And then finally, and the real benefit for us with this project is we're very fortunate where it sits. It sits on the coast. So this is 110 kilometers from a mineral handling port. So this is already handling other materials. We don't need to do anything to that port. The road itself is a paved road, so no problems driving along that. We're 800 meters from that. At the same time, we also have power running across the site, and the origin of that power is a hydroelectric dam. So we have the power, we have the road, we have the port. All of these things are already provided. We don't need to provide any of that, and it's only 110 kilometers. Again, feeds into the low capex and feeds into the low opex.
And Neil, you say you're about 2 years away from production, so take us through that timeline.
Absolutely. So last year was a very important year for us. We started the year with around 20 million tons in resource, moved it up to 30 million tons. We then completed a pre-feasibility study in September of last year, and that was the basis for our mining license application, which we put in. So subsequent to that, we did further work on the resource, moving 80% up into the measured and indicated category, so the reserve category. And we also increased the overall size to 35 million tons. And what that means now is we can look at doing a DFS this year, and we can look at higher throughput, which means higher production potentially, and also a longer mine life. So we expect to do that around mid-year. At the same time, simultaneously, we're working through permitting. So the first step we have is the mining license itself. We expect to get ministerial approval of that next quarter. Following that, we will look to do the EPA, which is around a 5-month process. And at the end of that, you're bringing it all together and getting parliamentary approval in Ghana. Looking to have license to operate early next year, break ground on the project, and it's a 12-month ramp up to production.
And lastly, Neil, what would you say makes Atlantic Lithium different? Because as you know, there are a lot of lithium players out there for investors to consider.
I think the first thing you have is there are many other projects. You're absolutely right. But this project comes to production in 2 years, so very much enjoying the higher prices of lithium. It's also under $300 Opex, and I know people are talking about a falling lithium price, but let's be honest, that's still high $4,000, $5,000, $300 Opex feeds through into a payback period. Very short indeed. We actually did our calculations on an average price of $1,360, and what that means to us is a payback of 20 weeks. So really the economics are fantastic on the project. We look forward to being able to pay dividends early to shareholders on that basis.
Great. Well, thanks for letting us know about Atlantic Lithium.
Thank you.
Okay, great stuff. Neil Herbert, Executive Chairman, Atlantic Lithium.